Welcome to Watershed Weekly, Episode 8, Skunk Cabbage.
My name is Titus, and I will be talking about the skunk cabbage. The western skunk cabbage, its scientific name being Lysochiton americanus, is a plant that can be found in the western United States and Canada. Another nickname for the plant is the swamp lantern. You can find this in places ranging from Alaska, British Columbia, Washington, Oregon, and Northern California. Other pockets of the skunk cabbage can be found in places like Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. An invasive species is also found in the United Kingdom. Its cousins include the eastern skunk cabbage, which is found on the East Coast, and there's also an Asian skunk cabbage that you can find in Northeast Asia. There are a number of uses for the skunk cabbage. For animals, the only two animals that really eat it include deer and bear. However, most animals avoid it because it burns, and it supposedly feels like stinging a nettle in the tongue. Humans can eat the skunk cabbage, but it's not recommended. You would die if you eat a lot of the skunk cabbage, and historically, it's only been used as a famine food. You would only eat the skunk cabbage if you were starving. Calcium oxalate crystals are found within the skunk cabbage. These crystals are the reason why it is inedible in large amounts for humans. While rarely eaten, other parts of the plant are used for other purposes. For example, the large leaves were used as food preparation and storage. The skunk cabbage is also a medicinal plant and was used to treat things like sores, swellings, and burns. During late February and early March, the plant starts to sprout out through the ground. The blooms themselves are unusual. A bright yellow leaf-like petal called a spathe shrouds the spadix, which itself is a yellow stalk covered in tiny flowers. The spadix starts to generate heat. The purpose of this heat generation is to keep the plant warm and allow it to grow. The plant can metabolically generate heat to up to 20 degrees Celsius, which is about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. The small flowers of the skunk cabbage create the foul odor, which is where it gets its nickname. The strong smell has a purpose, and its purpose is to attract pollinators like flies and other scavenging insects. The center of the plant contains the rhizome, which is the start of the root system. It's a vast system of multiple roots which extend out in all directions to up to multiple feet. Such a large amount of roots makes it very difficult for the plant to be pulled. This makes sense as the environment they live in can create conditions in which it can be difficult to latch onto the loose, murky, or muddy soil. They can last for up to decades and even centuries. As far as the leaves are concerned, the leaves of the skunk cabbage are the largest out of its competitors and is about 5 feet long and 2 feet wide. Skunk cabbage can self-pollinate, though realistically and practically, they pollinate with other skunk cabbages. This assures a healthy mix of genetic diversity among the population. Afterwards, at around late summer, the plant deposits seeds around itself in order to grow more skunk cabbage. Unfortunately, most of the seeds die because they are decomposing or they get eaten. When it starts turning to autumn, the skunk cabbage loses its leaves. It waits until the end of the next winter and comes up again. And this cycle continues the same way each year, and the skunk cabbage themselves can live up to 20 years.
This episode of Watershed Weekly was written and narrated by Titus from Mr. Van Wy's outdoor English class at the Haynes School. Watershed Weekly is a production of Takshinick Watershed Council in Haynes, Alaska. Support comes from the Reuben E. Crossett Endowment Fund for Children's Health in Southeast Alaska and radio station KHNS.